What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hasan Piker, and this is the Hasan broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles, folks. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. It looks kind of dark, and I know that's just how it is nowadays. I don't even know what's going on. Anyway, we're live. We're alive. Yet you still work with them? You're a fucking idiot. You are the biggest idiot of all time. I cannot comprehend a bigger idiot. You might be dumber. As a matter of fact, you are dumber than fucking Ken Martin and the entirety of the Democratic Party because they recognize what I'm trying to do and they're very worried about it. That's why they spend a good deal of their fucking time attacking me. You, on the other hand, don't understand what I'm trying to fucking do and you just want to chirp from the sidelines. I'm not working with the fucking Democratic Party, you moron. Oh my God. Do I work for the DNC? Does it look like I work for the DNC to you? Are you that fucking stupid? Why did you respond to Salin, a Palestinian, in that tone? They're right. Wait, what? A Palestinian? How the fuck am I supposed to know what anyone's background? What the fuck are you guys talking about? What are we doing? We're doing identity politics now? What the fuck is this bait? I don't know who Salin is. What the fuck is going on? It's got to be bait, right? What is this? Is this the new meta? That I'm anti-Palestinian? Is that what you're doing? Is that what the new thing is? Holy crash out? Yes, dude. Yes. Yes, it is a fucking crash out. It is. You got it. You got it. If that was your goal, if that was what your goal was, you fucking, you achieved it. Oh my God. Chad is low-key the no job convention. Yes. Listen, we're not doing fucking unnecessary infighting right now. We're not doing that. It's not time for it. You're being insane with this shit. I think there is a new movement that has been brewing in the sidelines that has always been something that I'm aware of, but haven't really paid too much attention to. From the Larishites to the revolutionary communists, shepherded by Chairman Bob Avakian, there's always been what I like to call the schizo left. There's always been like a cult side of the left. People have yelled at me in the past about Black Hammer, for example, when I called them cranks and called them insane. At the time, there were a lot of people who were like, hold on, let's hear him out. You actually don't understand the revolutionary spirit captured by the Black Hammer organization. There are always people who see the most batshit fucking crazy person and go, that's my guy. I'm an insane person, and I feel perfectly represented by this also insane person. One of the things I often do is just push aside or try to actively not talk about people who are in the schizoid communoid left. They are out there. They're not like a very large constituency. They're not necessarily a sizable constituency at all. But because they spend every fucking waking moment on the internet and don't have a job, right? So all they do is fucking chirp. They have an outsized representation on websites like Twitter, and also sometimes this fucking community as well. I don't know why this movement is I do know why this movement is growing, because every variant in the United States of America, every ideological tendency in the United States of America has different schizo variants, because we are a very mentally unwell nation. So it makes sense. I'd say at least 1/3 of chat will fall for a Mussolini speech. Oh, 100%. They'd be going, hold on, let's hear him out. They already do that. His name is Tucker Carlson, and there are people who fall for it every single time. The DNC is a horrible institution. It is an institution that has bred so much failure. And there are a lot of people who are no longer falling for the bullshit that this liberal institution has presented. Self-identifying liberals who are demanding more. This is an opportunity to show them that there is a different type of politics, a different way of understanding the world, one that actually focuses on class, one that actually wants to improve their lives. But instead of using this as an opportunity to foment class consciousness amongst the masses, most of the people just want to fucking chirp in Twitch streams. They want to chirp on Twitter. They don't want to actually go out and talk to people. It's fucking frustrating. All they want to do is yell at the people who do that. All they want to do is yell at the DSA. It's always about criticizing the different methods of organizing that other people are using. It's never about doing the fucking work. And I don't understand where this comes from. Sometimes you just got to shut the fuck up and let other people cook and you cook in the way that you want to cook. You do it. If it works, I'll work with you every single time. People get real mad when I say, build the Vanguard King and I'll be there for you. And they get real upset. They're like, wow, this is so dismissive. No, man. My point, I'm being sincere when I say that. What makes you think if there was currently an active Marxist-Leninist Vanguard Party or an active, genuine, successful, impactful Vanguard out there, that I wouldn't work with them? Build a Vanguard so you want to get in when the hard work of decades of organizing is done? Buddy, you're not doing it. That's my point. You're not doing it at all. All you're doing is this. This is what you're doing. We have a finite amount of time on this planet. Lifespans are relatively short in the grand scheme of history. And if you're spending all of the productive hours that you have in the day chirping at a fucking Twitch streamer, then you're not doing it. Be more productive with your time. That's the whole point. You think trying to rage bait me so that I respond to you in a fucking angry way, and maybe it gets into, like a Fox News clip machine, is somehow going to make you feel better, is somehow going to make you feel like you're moving in the right direction. I always ask myself, is this productive? Who is this message for? Who is this argument for? Are you upset you were lied to about the anti-Zionists you condemned? It's okay, Hasan. You were wrong and we forgive you. Banned. If you're talking about Maureen Galindo, if the peak of your anti-Zionist activism revolves around who actually pisses off like the pro-Israel crowd or Jews the most, you're not a serious person. You're not a sincere person at all. I'm sorry, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Like, there are a lot of people who are just like now firmly within the ranks of the schizo left, where people are just like deeply unwell. Like, perhaps you should just reach out to her and have a conversation with her if you love her so much, right? About what her worldview looks like, and maybe lead her back to some semblance of reality, rather than saying this is the peak of anti-Zionist activism in the country. The crystal mommy who keeps saying Jews control Hollywood. At that point, you might as well fucking talk about Nick Fuentes being the best at anti-Zionist advocacy. You're reactionary. You're unbelievably reactionary. Dude, I mean, this is so fucking annoying. I can't stand these motherfuckers so much. I try not to fucking left bash at all. But the motherfuckers that constantly complain about like any Democrat, the motherfuckers that just hate the Democratic Party, sometimes more than they hate the Republican Party. As a matter of fact, most of the time, more than the Republican Party, are so frustrating. Like, I'll literally be like, oh, look, Chris Rabb, he's like a genuinely radical person, right? Genuinely radical politician who spent a lifetime doing activism, working inside of his own state, within the confines of like state governance, obviously, but still tried to do his very best. What a wonderful moment that he got elected. What a wonderful moment that he's now in a position of power to make some changes. And people will be like, no, because he's a Democrat, of course he's fucking pro-Israel. He's a Zionist because he's a Democrat. Everyone is a Zionist. Everyone is a Zionist. Unlike me. Okay, guy who fucking chirps on Twitter. I'm doing the most anti-Zionism. I'm doing maximum anti-Zionism. Electing anti-Zionists into office is not anti-Zionism. Tweeting about how those guys are actually Zionists is anti-Zionism. Like, it's so frustrating. And then, like, I'll be like, dude, what are you doing? You're not doing anything. You're just fucking posting on Twitter. Like, you're not trying anything. All you're doing is posting on Twitter, and people go, wow, you sound like ContraPoints. You're completely captive to the pro-Israel Democratic Party. I hate having to have these stupid conversations with people who I previously thought were at least somewhat empathetic and somewhat intelligent. It turns out you can be an empathetic person. You can be on the right side. You can be on the right side of an issue and still be a fucking moron. Reactionary and parasocialists created the most unhealthy online combo I've seen in a long time. There's so many of them now, bro. I don't know what's going on. The last 2 weeks have been a nightmare. AOC bad, Plattner bad, Bernie bad, Galindo good. Yeah, where is this coming from? I genuinely don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand where this is coming from, where they're like, yeah, no, Chris Rabb is a Zionist because he's a Democrat, whereas Maureen Galindo is anti-Zionist because Democrats hate her. Okay, there are plenty of people that the Democrats hate. Well, they hate me too, for the record, but of course that never factors into the equation. I'm a Zionist too. I'm literally pro-Israel. They criticize your material change you try to achieve, but do nothing. Very cynical, zero optimism. Not about casting aside. It's about them useful. They don't seem to be that useful. No, I think that there is utility to anyone with a large platform that speaks out on these issues convincingly. Tucker Carlson certainly has a large platform and speaks on the issue of Israel convincingly. But to assume that Tucker Carlson is like a trusted ally in this fight or an anti-imperialist in any way, shape, or form is unbelievably stupid. Too many Groypers on Twitter love that crazy pro-castration lady. I think this is the far-right Carlson Groyper type trying to infiltrate. No, it's not. It's not. For a lot of people, they're so desperate for anyone to be fucking anti-Zionist that they will literally lean into anyone and everyone. It's the Randy Fine versus Dan Bilzerian equation, where they will just go, yeah, Dan Bilzerian is a better alternative than Randy Fine. And if your calculation revolves around, like, both of these guys fucking suck dick, but one of them is anti-Israel, one of them is pro-Israel, then yeah, Dan Bilzerian literally etches out against Randy Fine because they believe the same exact fucking bullshit. Randy Fine and Dan Bilzerian believe the same shit. They do. 99% of the way. Same with, like, Nick Fuentes versus Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro and Nick Fuentes believe the exact same bullshit. But one gets recognized as a valid media person, Ben Shapiro does, right? And the other is understandably deplatformed and cast aside and has no place in like polite, civilized conversations in civilized society. Part of that is because you can believe every single thing that Nick Fuentes believes with one exception. Israel, and you're fine. This is busted. This is broken. This is the problem. What I said about Maureen Galindo was, if you don't want someone to be a conspiratorial nut job that represents the anti-Zionist bracket on the Democratic Party primaries, then run better fucking Democrats. Your alternative can't be a pro-Israel cop that wants to fund ICE. If you run a pro-Israel cop that wants to fund ICE, you're going to funnel people to a crank that says insane shit. It's that simple. That's it. This is the United States of America. People believe in crazy shit, okay? People believe in a lot of violent rhetoric. People have only heard violent rhetoric. So when you actually redirect that violent rhetoric for the first time ever, not towards black people, not towards brown people, but instead to people in positions of power ostensibly, or to a group, perhaps the only group that has any DEI initiatives that people care about, Republicans, right? Republicans that say like DEI is bad across the board, except for Jewish people. Like, that is the dynamic that they're trying to present here. And everyone fucking pounces on that person. Most people go crazy. People look at that and go, okay, what the fuck is going on? Not everything is a psyop. Holy fuck, everyone's conspiracy brand is so painful to listen to. I don't even think Maureen Galindo is a psyop. I think she's just crazy. I think she's just like a sincerely crazy person. I think she is not very well read, not very educated, right, on this issue, doesn't understand it, and is just simply reacting to the things that she has seen thus far. And when you're like a little crazy on top of that, or very crazy on top of that, of course, that's going to be your output. Your output's going to be like legitimately insane. She's Marjorie Taylor Blue. When I say Maureen Galindo is not very well educated, I mean on the issue of Israel-Palestine. You can have someone be on the right side of an issue or even center their worldview around empathy, but then also be not have the solid fundamentals, and then just come out with like, and have any sort of proclivity towards like believing in conspiracy theories and whatnot. That's what's going to happen. That's the average American now. That's the median voter. That's always been the median voter. A lot of people don't understand that. Ironically enough, I've always been anti-crank. Okay, this is why a lot of people have yelled at me over and over again for years. I was always anti-Tulsi Gabbard, for example, and people yelled at me all the fucking time for this. I love cranks. I love watching them from afar. I'm fascinated with the way that they operate, but I'm not going to ever fucking sincerely talk about being a fucking crank, like, or how some kind of crank is a movement leader. I love watching Professor Jiang, but I'm not going to sit there and be like, what a brilliant, thoughtful person. I think there are more psyops and astroturfing campaigns online than we realize. I bet. Sure, maybe. Better to be crank agnostic because they're a good gateway into politics, to be perfectly honest. Opposing them too harshly makes their newly awakened fans who will fall away after a month or two when they see how dumb they are less open to you. I know. But I do think it's good. We have to push back on it a little bit. Why else would I push back on anti-Semitism, for example? I mean, most of the anti-Semites, with the exception of the Zionist Christians, evangelical Zionists, most of those anti-Semites in the United States of America are anti-Israel. So why do I not let that shit slide? Why do I not let it go? Anti-Semites, and maybe even some on the left, say, oh, it's because you want to be a mainstream media figure and you have to pay the piper. You are not allowed to be a mainstream media figure if you say the secretive truths, right? That's their suspicion. That's not the case. That's not the case at all, because I'm not a fucking reactionary tailist. Because it is fundamentally flawed thinking, the assumption that there is an international organized Jewry or any group whatsoever is operating on in-group, out-group dynamics in a way where they cannot change their fucking perspective at all. That they're organized and that they're moving in one direction. That's not how this works. That's not how the world works. People have class interests. People operate on those class interests. People act on those class interests. That's it. Except for Oklahoma City Thunder fans. They do obviously participate in Hasbara. It's very clear.